My journey started back in January 2017 when I first arrived here at Cosgarn. I was in the throes, I suppose you would say, of alcohol addiction. My partner at the time had asked me to leave the house because I was drinking on and off. I turned up at Cosgarn. There was no judgment, there was no criticism, there was nothing like that. They gave me a home. I moved into Greenaways in January 2017. I then applied to go into rehab. I went into rehab in April of 2017. I did a 6-week treatment program. And then when I came out, I was housed down at the Truro Road house, and the continued support and people just looking after you and listening to you and talking to you and understanding where you're coming from was immense. It was amazing. And the reason I managed to stay sober was because I was down Truro Road and it was a dry clean house. And I eventually moved out in November last year and moved on to my own property, and I've now been sober for just over 2 years. It had become time. I'd been drinking heavily I was dependent on alcohol for probably about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And I'd got to the point, I was 39 at that point, and you get tired of being tired, and you get fed up of being fed up. And you get fed up of the lying and the going behind people's backs, and the amount of upset, pain, stress, worry that I was causing my elderly parents, my brothers, my friends. I just thought, I've had enough of this life. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to be me again. I wanted my life back. And my partner at the time, he got the information on a rehab up in Wiltshire called Clouds House, and I applied and I got a place. And before I left, I said to my key worker at the time, can I come back to Greenaways? Can I come back to my room? Because I loved having my own little place again. And she said, no, we've got a better idea for you. We're going to put you in Truro Road because it's a smaller house. And it's going to be a clean, dry house, so there won't be the temptation there. But I'm sober today, and it sounds dramatic, but I'm alive today because of Cosgarn. I think the lowest point, it's always down to this. I managed to plough my way through 2 litres of vodka in about a day and a half, and I was so ill. It was unreal. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was being violently ill. I wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't seeing anybody. I turned my phone off. People were worried. People were coming around and saying, look, Joe, come and talk to us. Let us know you're still alive, for God's sake. And I just remember looking at myself, and I just looked such a mess. I hadn't showered for a few days. I hadn't got dressed. I hadn't got out of bed. And I just looked at myself and I thought, no, you can't do this anymore, Joe. This is it. And I'd gone up to see my parents for the day. And my brother said to me, you've got to do something, sis, because you're killing mum and dad. They can't cope with this. They're not in the best of health anyway. Thankfully, they're still with us, but they're not in the best of health. And my brother just sitting me down and saying, look, I think you've got to do something. And Mark, my partner at the time, he found out about Clouds. He got all the paperwork. He researched the place, and he said, right, let's sit down and do this because you need help. And the first thing is admitting that you've got a problem and admitting that you need the help. And I didn't realise what help was out there. You've just got to ask for it. You've just got to be brave enough to take that big step and say, I'm struggling, I've got a problem, and I need to do something about it. And that was when I sort of said, that's it, I'm turning my life around. And I walked out of rehab on the 8th of June, and I thought, right, this is it. I was 40 2 weeks later, and I thought, this is it. I've got to start my life all over again, and I have.
You've completely turned your life around.
Yeah.
Your parents and family and everything must be thrilled.
They're very, very proud, very proud. I lost my licence 5 years ago. I got arrested for drink driving, and I was disqualified for 2.5 years. And one of my goals when I came out of treatment was to stay sober, stay on the right track, and work towards getting my licence back. And my parents, bless them, they said, if you stay on the right road, we'll help you get a car. August last year, I got my licence back, and in March of this year, they bought me a car. They saved up their pension, bless them, and bought me a car. So I'm back on the road. I've got my own home, and I'm living a sober and very, very happy and fulfilled life. When I first came here, I'd obviously heard all the negative press and the bad things about Cosgone. Everybody knows what they've heard. It's full of druggies and alkies. But when I came here, I say about the support was just incredible. Nobody judged me for what I was or who I was. There was no criticism. There was no putting you down. They were always here. Someone is always here for you to talk to. Someone's always here if you're having a bad day or you need to have a chat. They come and do their checks every day to check in that you're okay and if you need anything. I know people say that it's not a great place and all the people in town are from Cosgone and what have you, but it's helped me to get my life back and to get me back to who I am. I wouldn't be who I am today, and I probably wouldn't be standing here talking to you today if it wasn't for the guys up here, other residents. I've met some great people along the way. I've made some really good friends up here who I still see and keep in touch with. And I can't say enough that it is the support. And everything is here that you would need to get your life back on track. It's all here, you've just got to want it. And I honestly, I would shout it from the rooftops about how amazing this place is, because it's helped me to be who I am and where I am today.